Hi there, and welcome on board Cunard's Queen Anne. In my previous videos I've shown you what the embarkation process was like getting on board Queen Anne, and also a room tour of my cabin. If you'd like to see these videos first, then please click the link in the card up above. But for now, I'm off to the buffet just to get some light bites before I take you on a tour of the ship and we watch sail away from Southampton. Well, this is meal number one. It's very, very light because I'm going to have dinner in about 2 hours. So I've just come up to the buffet for a nose around, just to see how it works, and also just to get myself a bit of light salad, just because I'm feeling a bit peckish but not hungry yet. So it's one of those transition times. Well, that was nice. Initial thoughts on the buffet. It's a very nice place to be. There's lots of seating. It's got greens and dark hues, but it actually feels kind of like refreshing for it, and it's very smart. Kind of like a garden kind of vibe. But yeah, for a buffet, the staff are all absolutely lovely and will give you everything you want, but it is served. So no self-service apart from the drinks machines and what appears to be a self-serve soft ice cream machine, which I can't wait to try in a minute. But yeah, my personal preference is to serve myself if I'm in a buffet, and obviously have a waiter if I'm sitting down at a table. That's my personal preference. Everything's personal preference at the end of the day, but this is a weak point for me. I like to just pick and choose and just have a tiny little bit and not have to translate that to someone else. So yeah, there's one downside for me. Anywho, initial food was delicious. It was really tasty and fresh. Can't complain. I'm not going to complain. Just voicing an opinion. Anywho, where am I going now? I want to go outside. Let's find some outside.
What comes next? Horns, horns, horns.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled program.
When I first entered my cabin, I found a handy map which showed you the key areas on the ships and information about dining. So I decided to use this little map to help me go around the ship. Let me take you on an initial tour, not of every part of the ship, but this is where I went on day one. There's plenty of seating areas around the pool, lots of sun loungers, and it's a very nice place to be, calm and quiet. Upstairs you have the wellness cafe, and downstairs there is a place where you can get some quick bites. There's lots of these towel stations around as well, so you don't need to bring any towels from your cabins. Just choose one from one of these stations and return it to this area when you've finished using it. This roof is also retractable, so can open fully on a hot day. The temperature inside the indoor pool area was quite high, so just be aware, it was warm even in the Southampton sunshine. already quite high up on the top of the ship to be able to see down into the indoor pool, but we're going to go up one more onto deck 14 and head towards the front of the ship, or forward. In this location you can find some deck games like a miniature putting green and the driving range. You can also find this really nice covered area where you get uninterrupted views out to the forward area of the ship. However, in this area is the designated smoking section, which for me as a non-smoker doesn't make this a nice place to be. But if you were out here and no one was smoking, I'm sure it would actually be quite nice. Along the other side of the ship, headed towards the rear, you've also got a pickleball court, and another one of those towel stations I mentioned, before heading back round full circle back to the sky bar. Next up I'm going inside, but I'm going to use this little door. Down this narrow set of stairs, which is completely separate from any lift, it almost looks like a staff staircase. But I'm heading down to deck 12. That's right, deck 12. There is no deck 13 on this ship. Superstitious bunch, aren't we? Here you will find the baby zone, and a little further along the corridor you'll find the teen zone and the kids zone. Unfortunately, as everyone was on board, I wasn't able to go around this area, but that's where they are. On a little further down the corridor you'll find the library. The lights don't actually twitch like that, it was just the changing of light and my camera was adjusting. This is a lovely quiet space where you can borrow books and sit in peace and quiet, staring out to sea. Next up along this deck is the Commodore Club, a lovely bar lounge which hosts live music in the evenings. And look at those windows for a panoramic view out to sea. A really nice place to be. Also in this deck you have different function rooms. This one is the boardroom, which I imagine gets used for all kinds of purposes, and does look like it could be used as a chapel, although don't quote me on that. Further on down the deck and past lots of pieces of art, we've got Churchill's cigar room. Yes, this is actually for the purpose of smoking cigars. It really did smell like it when I came in quickly. Now, let me show you one section of the ship that I'm really not keen on. It's the mid-section of Deck 11. This area is only accessible to Grills Terrace customers, those who have got a cabin within the Princess Grill or Queen's Grill class. If you do not have one of these cabins, then this area of the ship is restricted and you're not allowed to gain access. So if you try to get from one end of the ship to the other, you can't do that along this deck. You have to go back on yourself, which is quite a distance, then find a different set of stairs or lift down 2 decks just to go to the back of the ship. I did not like this at all, and I'm fairly certain other ships do exclusive areas like this much better, where they'll have it at one end of the ship or another, not slice the decks in half. I didn't like that at all. So, let's go find something that is accessible to the Britannia Club passengers. The Panorama Pool Club. This is an outdoor pool area with lots of seating, tables, a bar and sun loungers. A nice place to be and a great space to watch sail away. Heading inside now and all the way down to deck 3. This is the top of the grand lobby, which is the main central atrium for Queen Anne. Up here you'll also find Queen Anne's range of boutique shops, where you get lots of different items to buy, including accessories, clothes, and the local shop where you'll find bits and pieces if you've forgotten anything on your trip. Up here I also spotted some replica crown jewels. 2 tiaras, and the very famous engagement ring of Diana, Princess of Wales, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. These were utterly stunning, even as replicas, so I can't imagine what the real ones must be like. Up here, you'll also find a view of the Queen's Room. This room is mainly used for live entertainment, dancing, and exercise routines. Heading towards the front of the ship, you will also find room 1840, which is the casino and bar. This was a bright and welcoming space, and I'm happy to say there was no smoking allowed in this section, so it made it a very welcoming environment. This is also one of the main thoroughfares through to the Royal Court Theatre, although I wasn't too keen on the squeeze access. As you can see, there's a staircase in the middle, so it makes gaining access and exiting a little bit more tricky. This is the access to the Bright Light Society, one of the bars and main entertainment spaces on board. A pleasant, welcoming space, and I'll show you some of the entertainment on the next video. Coming down one deck onto deck 2, this is the central section where you can still see the grand lobby, and you'll find one of my favourite bars, the chart room. I just love this glass and the way it twinkles day or night. And the way the sun sparkles off the sea and onto the ceiling is really mesmerising. There's plenty of seats and tables here, and it just keeps on going. This is the midsection of the bar. As you can see, wingback chairs line the windows, and it's a very nice place to be during the day to look out to sea. I'm headed back to my room now, just for a bit of a rest before dinner.
My luggage has arrived. I've just been pushed inside the door. Thank you.
It's been a really nice afternoon going around the ship and finding out where everything is and getting my bearings. But now it's time for dinner. And the way to get there is through the Clarendon Fine Art Gallery. Let's take a look. Unfortunately, I didn't actually get any footage of me heading to my table at dinner time, but this is the Britannia restaurant. A light, bright space set over 2 floors with lots of windows around the edge. Well, what a lovely dinner I just had. A little bit different to my MSC cruise. I actually had some table mates this time. A couple of Australians, a couple from up north, and one solo. It was a really lovely dinner, and I enjoyed it very much. Unfortunately, I didn't get a picture of my main meal, which was salmon. It was delicious. really yummy. So I'm just outside on the prom deck, and it's got a bit noisier now. So I'm going to the back of the ship to get a look at that. Take a look. After dinner and a walk around the prom deck to let my dinner go down, I decided to head to the Royal Court Theatre for some evening entertainment. This 835-seat theatre is more in the Art Deco design and is a much simpler design than I've seen advertised on other Cunard ships. Much of the theatre is accessible via step-free access, and the steps inside are actually very small. The chairs themselves are very comfortable, but there's no table or anywhere to put a drink. First evening on board, met some lovely people for dinner. There wasn't a bunch of solos, there were 2 couples and 2 solos on our table of 6 in the Britannia restaurant upstairs on table 619. It was really, really nice. I liked it a lot. And now I've just been to the theatre very quickly after doing a little bit of a wander. And I've just been to the theatre to see a fantastic violinist. And yeah, she was really, really good. It's obvious that she practices a lot and finished on a flourish, so well done. And now, quiz time. I'm in the red line, golden line. Let's get that right. I'm in the golden line. And it is quiz time for what's that, sail away trivia. And what's my team name? I don't know. Just pick one. See you after. Well, 10 out of 20 isn't too bad considering I was on my own, and some of the questions were rather tricky. I didn't record any more for the rest of the night, but I did take some photos of the drinks menu in the Golden Lion. This is just to give you an idea of some pricing in case you were considering getting a drinks package. That's all for this time, but next time I'm going to be showing you a few more of the rooms on the ship that I didn't get to see on my first day. Show you a few hints and tips for a go walking around the ship, and a little bit more of the entertainment on board in the evening. I'll see you then. Until next time.